So yesterday we got crystal clear on what clarity meant to us. Just to recap a little bit, if you weren't here yesterday, to tell you what I said, the replays will be up for the remainder of the week for those of you that are here for the free coaching. And for those of you who upgraded the VIP, you will have it for 14 days and it will be sent at the end of the week. So if you have time, feel free to go back and view that when you get a chance. But I wanted us to note what it meant to us when we started this challenge, as well as what it means to us when you finish. So why? Not because you're going to be wrong, I guess, per se, but your perspective may or may not change as we go forward. So that's why I want you guys to note that it's not for me and it's for you. And remember, we have 3 requirements that we must do in order for this to work. And that's 1, we must be honest. Always. 2, you're gonna need to be raw. Do not dress it up because you can change what you're trying to say. The meaning can change when we try to dress things up. And then you need to be present. So this morning, I tuned in to one of my coaches. I have different coaches for different things. But I tuned into one of my coaches because I seen she went live. Anytime that notification goes off, I'm gonna tune in and see what she's talking about. So when I did that, she started talking about something that really helped me to get through this day, because this has been a kind of a difficult day for me in the sense of it was started out being filled with some things that I didn't want to do. And when I say things I didn't want to do, because y'all know I'm really big about saying that you should make sure that the thing that you're doing is something that you actually want to do. Bear with me, YouTube. I'm trying to make sure that we're functioning properly because I'm seeing a green screen. So I don't know if you guys can see me or not. I think you can, but I'm not necessarily sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there I go. So anyway, so she got to talking about us doing things that we don't necessarily want to do. Well, because of the recent clarity work, I was able to get to the reasoning why sooner than what I probably would have been able to if I wouldn't have done it recently. Yes, I use my own content. I even use it on my family, I use it on my friends. I use it on the content that y'all are getting is the content that I use inside of my coaching practice. It works. So, and when it doesn't work as the way I pay attention to, if it's working the way that I want it to work for the client. Also, when I ask you guys for feedback, I'm trying to see if it's doing something different. It maybe it's taking you another route that I really didn't intend for you to go, but it was beneficial to you. That matters. So always feel free to give me feedback, whether it's positive, negative, whatever. And you know, when people ask you guys for suggestions, be really good about giving suggestions. Well, you know what would have made this better if you would have did this. I had a client tell me one time, she said this was a great program, but you know what? It would have been really good if you would have had 2 different sections. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, it would have been really good because it seemed like most of the people that was in the group, they were new. And she was like, so you had to constantly catch them up. And I thought about that and I'm like, yeah, one, the client that is not serving both of the clients 100%, because no matter who I'm talking to, the one that is a little bit further behind and the one that's a little bit further ahead, they are both the same. You're going to show up for those clients, those people in your lives the same. They have the same value. But the problem is that while you're showing up for one, the other one's over here mulling in their thoughts waiting. And then it switches, you know? So, but if you narrow that down and talk to that in particular person, where I know, like when I work with coaches, I get a lot of pushback from that, as well as individuals, because I tend to attract entrepreneurs, because we have to manage a lot of stress, y'all. Don't listen to people that tell you that, you know, we make money in our sleep and we just stress free. Yeah, we make money in our sleep, but it's a reasoning and a strategy behind that. So anyway, it was very helpful to me. Helped me to get myself together, tuning into what she was talking to. And it was just so funny that it aligned with what we're working on this week. And when I tell you, when by the time you finish this journal, by the time you finish this challenge, you will start looking for areas in almost every day where you need to realign with clarity and how it's going to benefit you. So I'm going to jump right in and lead with a real life example that is not going to reveal anything that's like HIPAA compliant or anything like that. So for those of you that don't know, I'm the director of Courageous Diagnostics in Beaumont. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do during the day right now, depending on when you're watching this video. So lately I've been getting a lot of calls for a lab test that I decided to discontinue because I looked at the data and it really wasn't beneficial to me at that time. Well, lately I've been getting a lot of calls for it, but this one in particular call kind of concerned me this morning. And I was in between clients and I answered the phone and and she's asking me this, but she's speaking kind of muffled. And then I was like, well, we don't offer that. But for some reason, I don't know what that is, but I was willing to do it for her. And she hadn't said too much more to me, but it's all about leaning into and mastering the discernment that you already have. So as she continued to talk, I noticed that she was holding back tears as she was calling to schedule a lab appointment. Y'all would be amazed at the individuals that I am blessed to be able to serve that walk into my office, that call me on the phone. It's like really amazing. And majority of the people are not from where I live. So anyway, so instead of me just being like, no, I don't do that, but you can go here, here, and here, I was in mid-sentence saying, no, we don't do this. However, you may want to try here or here. I give people options, but then she was like, it was just something in her voice, aside that she made. I was like, she really don't want to go to them. She need to come to me for some reason. Well, I'm independent. So what that means is that I don't answer to anybody. When you come and get your testing, you're paying for it. I don't need a doctor's order and I don't have to report it to anybody in this per se. It's for your eyes only. So, and my location is really discreet. We do more than one thing. So people don't know why you're here. And my clientele love that. Although sometimes they give me a little flack about about the location, but it's safe and everything, but it's just discreet. It's a little bit hard to find apparently for some people, but we fixed that. Now, my job as a mental health nurse has trained me to pay attention and pick up on the things that people are not saying, the stuff that the patients don't complain of. That's one of the things that makes me a good coach, is because I honed in those skills and I had to. Because as a nurse, we know that not doing so can cost someone their life. Period, point blank. I could miss something. And especially when you're dealing with mental health, if you're going into that field, please make sure there's something that you like to do and that you're going to go to work and work. And you're going to take your breaks so you can stay clear. It's really important, because the least little thing, the way somebody says something, the things that they don't say, but it's not necessarily required, but it's not necessarily required for them to say that thing, could be what saves their life. And a lot of times, we'll tell you guys that nurses, we keep you on this side of the grave. That was actually like the slogan that we put on our t-shirts when I was in nursing school. Kind of morbid, huh? But well, that's one of the ways that we do it. So I take that same mentality and same seriousness and bring it inside of my coaching practice. Now, the thing is, and those of you that are nurses or similar and attorneys, y'all are notorious about it too. The thing about it is that you can't turn that off, because you're operating on a gift that you were born with and you just learned how to master it and use it to assist and serve other people. Now, so when I'm talking to people, when they come in and when they call, they're paying for the labs, but they're getting the coaching for free. They're getting the advisement for free. And sometimes they'll get the consulting for free. The consultant is telling them what they should do, basically. But this individual and I wrote me some notes so I can remember. I utilized the clarity to hear what she wasn't saying and understand that she needed to come to my location and she needed this test, and that yes, I could do it. I just had to do like tap a couple buttons and bring her in. Now she was looking for discretion, is what I heard in her voice. After I noticed that she was crying a little bit, she also was looking to avoid following a doctor's order. She said, "I don't have to have a doctor's order." I'm like, no. So that then she kind of I noted a sigh of relief. So then I know it at that point in time. So it was the things that she wasn't saying during the call that I want to point out. But the only reason I was able to do that, as I was looking back over the content for today, is that I noted that when I went back and I was doing my vision map, what we're going to talk about today, I look back on, and if you have the journal, it's on page 10, week 1, day 7, page 10 in the journal. So when I looked back at my midday reset, I noted that I had my vision map there, and I kind of noted it, and I'm like, because I'm stressed out this morning. I'm not gonna lie to nobody because I'm not looking forward to something that I had to do today. And I know the reason why, because it triggers my old self. But my coach got me together. I prayed about it, and then this work that we're doing helped me to get it together to be able to do what I need to do. So, in spite of me not wanting to and not liking to do it. But anyway, so when I look at my vision map, I noted 3 areas. I took time to map out my spiritual journey, my personal journey, and my business journey. And if you don't have a business, I would encourage you to do the career journey, because your personal life and your business and your personal life and your career are 2 different things. You are not your job description, even if it is your business. That is not you. That is something that you do. That is something that you built. It is something that you created. That it does not define you as a person. Don't give it that power. Why? Because we all have bad days and we all will fail eventually one day. And so what a lot of people are struggling with right now is they had in a sense idolized the careers and the businesses that they had, to the point to where when that opportunity come, when the hard times come, they don't know how to deal with it. And that's the fallout that we're seeing today. So and I don't really kind of understand that, because it wasn't that long ago that we was in a place similar to this in my lifetime. So I'm like, there's nothing new under the sun, y'all. Nothing at all. We will continue to be in the cycle until we wise up and learn from the past. So you are going to map out, do a vision map. Now, a lot of people are probably saying, well, I have a vision board. Yeah, you have a vision board, so you're ahead of the game. Cool. So, but what a vision map is, and what a vision board doesn't do, and I'm going to tell you how they work together. The vision mapping helps you to stay on task and know where you are. It gives you the data. So, a vision board is pretty and it's motivational and more appealing on the eyes. And, it's that end result. Sometimes we sprinkle in our why on our vision boards. If you haven't, I would encourage you to do so, because that's going to help you to anchor it. But think of that as like your motivational piece. And then even some of you go a step further and you put little stickies on the mirror and stuff like that, because you're manifesting where you're trying to go. If you want to do something, you want to put it in your face. You do want to put it in your face. That does work. Yes, it does. And you want to verbalize it out loud. Even if you don't verbalize it out loud to anybody other than yourself, you need to say it. Because who's listening when you say it out loud? You are. Yes. And so, like Kevin Hart says, you got to say it with your chest. You can't be like, well, I'm gonna start a business one day, and then I'm gonna, maybe buy my mama. Did you hear anything that I said? No. So you didn't hear it either. So you gotta, but in order for you to do that, you need to get clear. And so that's what the work that we're doing this week is all about. So if you didn't do your work from yesterday about noting what clarity meant to you, go back and do that. And then if you didn't do the worksheet that we did on Sunday night, where we took a look in the mirror, go back and do that. Now today, we're gonna your handout shows you how to complete a vision map, and that leads to the image that I have on the screen. And I'm gonna switch really quickly, guys. For those of you that are on, I'm gonna share my screen in just a second for those of you that are on YouTube, so you can see the same thing. Because some people are visual, and that's the only point that I have it there. Now, me, I'm an auditory and visual learner, so it gives the visuals give me inspiration. And that's what I want you to do with the image that I have on the screen, you guys. You don't have to do a vision. When you read the instructions on your handout, you're going to note that you don't have to do yours like this. That it can be different. So let's share the screen. All right. Yeah, yours can be a little different. Me, I did mine the way that I do my notes. I just did lines with arrows that pointed to the next thing. Now, with the, all right, I'm gonna bring it up for you guys. I thought I had it up here. Okay, so with the vision mesh image that we're looking at right now, the little labels in there and the dots, that's gonna help you when you go through the instructions on the handout. We'll run through those quickly, and then we'll wrap it up because y'all got work to do. So, and I look forward to hearing all about it. If you had anything interesting, anything questions, anything, feel free to drop them in the group or comment under this video, and I will comment back. If you are watching right now, I want you to comment vision in the chat. I want you to put vision in the chat if you are still with me right now. Now, the instructions show us step by step. One thing you're going to do when you sit down to do this is you're going to center yourself, and then you're going to take 2 to 3 deep breaths. That's why we're not doing it together today. And then you're going to let your mind clear, release all the clutter from the day, all the cares of the world. You're going to let them go so you can focus on the task at hand. If you're having trouble doing that, then you want to go and find some coping skills. I share them all the time if you follow me on how you can do that. One thing about me that I like to do to keep me focused, because I tend to struggle with anxiety from time to time, is I wear shoes that I can take off easily. And if you put your shoe on something cool, you're instantly going to stop going off into Never Never Land. You're going to bring yourself back and focus. So you're going to take 2 to 3 deep breaths. If anything, Doche has made it really popular for y'all to know that breath work really does work. And if you follow me, you know I do those videos too. I think I probably need to share one again to put it back out there for you guys. I guide you through it. But take a couple of breaths, get grounded, and clear your mind. Next, you're going to consider what matters the most to you right now. With me, 3 things matter to me: my spirituality, my personal life, and my business. That's it. Wouldn't worry about nothing else. So, yours may be different, but note the things that we went over yesterday if you want to stay on task. So now you're going to sketch your idea, your community, or your focus group, whatever you're concerning. This in particular illustration is guiding you through figuring out what you want to do. So let's see. You can ask yourself what matters most, and then write down 3 to 5 values to anchor your decision. I didn't have to do that, but this is going a little bit more in depth, and you don't have to do it either if you don't want to, and if you don't have to. You can stop at number 2 as far as that. You can skip number 3. I'm saying you really can skip number 3. Number 3 is more so for people that are in business. So if you are doing one like me, if your business is what you're focusing on, I would dedicate my time there. Number three, I would note who are you helping and sketch that ideal client, the community or focus group that you're trying to reach. Now, you can flip that if you're focusing on your career and narrow it down the same way. So, how can we use that for everybody's gonna work on themselves? So for me, my three for working on myself was to seek God's will, to get closer to me, knowing me again, and then get closer with my family. And the end goal was for everybody to be healthy and happy. And does that mean we're gonna all walk around and just have like those psycho looking like smiles all the time? No, but happy in the skin that we're in, where we're at. That's what happy and healthy means to me. I write in code. Remember, I'm just sharing it with you guys to give you examples. But I write in code. The only person that is supposed to make sense to is me. You can do the same thing. But like I said, mine, instead of being this little cute little image online, and some of y'all are going to do that because you're over the top, you're high achievers. You're going to create that. It's still right. So right here, they're focusing on personal life, career, and business, health, and wellness. Now, you see the little block down here that says inspirational words. Now you're going to note some things that are non-negotiable for you. And then outside of that, I want you to anchor them. And anchoring them means that you're going to put, like for an example with me, what did I do? Let's pick one. Okay, so a non-negotiable with me would be to seek God's will, like duh, right? So now I'm gonna anchor that and put like why. Why do I want to do that? Because I want to get to heaven. That's motivation enough for me, right? Keep it simple. To get closer to me. How do I anchor that? Are some inspirational words. So that I can be true to myself. That's one, but it's kind of vague. But closer to me so that I can truly, really and truly be happy. And the sense of what I'm meaning when I say that. A lot of people are not happy because they don't know who they are or what they want. So recognizing that I have changed again, as I will continue to change as I continue to open my eyes and grow older, but noting that I've changed, I'm in a different place than what I was maybe a couple of years, we'll say like 5 years ago. I'm a different person. Most of us are, right? So I want to get to know her a little bit better. For an example, I have my first child leaving home this year. So I've noted that I am changing. So I'm kind of switching over into, I'm not sure what to call it, but I'm changing and I'm noticing it. Then closer with my family, like I know we all love our family, but I'm at that point to where like, the people around me really matter. I'm really valuing, not saying I did before, but I'm valuing and appreciating their presence and the little things. And then the things we've been able to share in the past, even more. So just to give you a couple of examples on how to anchor that. And then let's see. Now, really, that's it. Normally I see I'm following what I intended to do, keeping this simple. So it really is as simple as it looks on this thing. And if you are being intimidated, if you are not a visual learner and you're being intimidated by what's on the screen, ignore it and then just focus on let me stop screen share. Just focus on, just do a diagram. With me, I don't do pictures and stuff like that because it okay. With me, I don't do a lot of pictures and stuff because it distracts me. I'm going to start worrying about how the picture is. I'm not the best artist, but I'm not the worst either. So I'm going to start worrying about things that don't matter. And then I'm getting further and further away. But so the point is for you to work on this vision map. And if you feel so courageous and bold, draft one and post it in the group. If you need any help with it, you have any questions, comment in the group. We're here to help each other, right? Like, say you think you have some things together, but you're not quite sure if, can I do this or should I not do that? So the handout is 2 pages simply because I want you to know that use all the space if you need to. Do it a couple of times if you need to, but come up with your vision map. Now, you knowing what clarity means to you, getting really clear on that, creating a vision map for you to check and see how you're staying on that. And just for those of you who don't have the journal, this create your vision map, that is what came out of the midday section of the journal. The journal breaks it down for you to have different activities to do over a 4-week period in the morning, midday, and evening. And usually the evening is the reflection time. So tomorrow we will start approaching the reflection time. We're going to continue to work toward that time. But if y'all have any questions, I am 5 minutes over than what I intended to be because I do realize that some people have worship tonight and I'm one of them. But if you have any questions, any concerns, feel free to drop them in the group. But I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Y'all have a good evening. And if you know, like, hey, Coach MT, I want one of those journals, then you're going to simply go over to simplythebestcoach.com, click the link and order one. And if you're in the group, the links are all over the place. Go ahead and upgrade because if you're in the group and you upgrade, then you're going to get a 30-minute one-on-one after this has wrapped up. And you're like, well, you said this challenge will continue. The people that have the real journal, they have a 30-day journal. So they have 30 days to book their one-on-one session. Why would they need to do that? Because along this journey, if they really and truly do it, they're going to arrive at something that they want to unpack. And then we're going to meet, and that's what we're going to do. So they continue on their way. But thank you guys for your time, attention, and support. If you know that this is for someone, please invite them to the group or share the YouTube video. But community, YouTube community, I want to hear from you. Comment on this video. Remember, if you are still with me at this time, I want you guys to comment vision in the chat.